Good evening. As you start to walk on the way appears. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I am Vinod Narayanan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
Prince Salman bin Hamad Medal for Medical Merit granted to Primary Healthcare Centers affiliates. Fifth meeting of political consultations between Bahrain and Swiss Confederation convenes. Finding it difficult to evacuate, students stuck at Ukrainian-Polish border, says Indian official. Saudi final exit visa cannot be cancelled during probation. Masks not mandatory anymore in UAE.
News in detail. Prince Salman bin Hamad Medal for Medical Merit granted to Primary Healthcare Centers affiliates. Chief Executive Officer of the Primary Healthcare Centers, Dr. Jalia Al Sayed Jawad, said that the pride of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, in the dedicated national efforts exerted by all the health professionals in the front lines of the fight against the novel coronavirus, including competencies from the health sector, the Bahrain Defence Force, the Interior Ministry and all allied parties, is a catalyst for continuing teamwork in order to enhance the kingdom's progress march and achieve national goals. In this regard, she recommended the efforts exerted by all employees of primary health centers and the great sacrifices they are making to protect the health and safety of everyone in the kingdom. Special Investigation Unit investigates alleged inmate mistreatment to ensure human rights. The Special Investigation Unit has initiated in the investigation of a complaint of mistreatment and allegation of assault by police staff against an inmate whilst in custody. The alleged incident took place following a refusal to adhere to the classification of inmates detained at prison facilities. The Special Investigation Unit is aware of the allegation being made on social media channels. A member of the Special Investigation Unit has been sent to the facility to take a statement of complaint from the inmate in question. The unit has also tasked a forensic doctor to examine the inmate and submit a medical report. Security footage of the alleged incident has been requested and the judicial police within the unit have been tasked with the investigation in submission of a full report of their findings. The investigation is consistent with the procedures set out in the Istanbul Protocol of the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner of Human Rights. Fifth meeting of political consultations between Bahrain and Swiss Confederation convenes. Foreign Ministry Under Secretary for Political Affairs, Dr. Sheikh Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, chaired the fifth meeting of political consultations between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the Swiss Confederation, which was held today at the Switzerland Pavilion at Expo 2020, Dubai. The Swiss side was chaired by the head of Middle East and North Africa Division, Maya Tisafi. Dr. Sheikh Abdullah praised the distinguished relations between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the Swiss Confederation and their development at all levels, stressing the importance of activating the agreement signed between the two countries and implementing the outcomes of the previous rounds of consultations to meet common aspirations. Dr. Sheikh Abdullah reviewed the various investment opportunities in the kingdom as a regional center for entrepreneurship and digital economy. He also touched on the kingdom's efforts in promoting human rights and fostering peace and coexistence in the region. Role of Bahrain Multi-Sclerosis Patient Society praised. Labour and Social Development Minister Jamil bin Muhammad Ali Humaydan received Bahrain Multi-Sclerosis Patients Society Chairperson Nakhla Abdul Rahman Abdul Fateh and discussed joint cooperation to improve services. Abdul Fateh outlined achievements and planned projects and programs, shedding light on services and targeted categories in cooperation with competent authorities. She highlighted efforts to enhance the awareness of patients suffering from multisclerosis and update them about medical developments. 26,000 Bahrainis find jobs in private sector. More than 26,000 Bahrainis found jobs in the private sector last year. Labour and Social Development Minister Jamil Humaidan told MPs that of the total 26,344 who were employed, 6,275 held a bachelor's degree or a higher qualification. 1,025 were diploma holders and 19,044 were secondary school graduates or lower. Bahraini students prized at GCC Hackathon. A group of Bahrain students won a prize in hackathon held at the Expo 2020 Dubai. They clinched the award for their campaign highlighting the health risks of electronic cigarettes. The three-day hackathon competition was held at the pavilion of the GCC General Secretariat as part of the Expo 2020 Dubai initiatives. The competition featured three categories: mental and social health of elderly people, the risks of electronic cigarettes, and the danger of drugs. The Saudi students won the award of Best Content, while prize of Most Creative Content went to the Qatari team. The UAE team clinched the award of Best Visual Presentation. The Kuwaiti team of students won the Team Spirit Award for their campaign highlighting the dangers of drugs. Truck caught dumping oil into water channel. Authorities sprung into action minutes after a tanker was found dumping oil in an environmentally strategic water channel in the country yesterday. The private truck, allegedly belonging to a construction company, was draining used oil into the Mamir Canal at around 10 a.m. Today's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
Finding it difficult to evacuate students stuck in Ukraine-Polish border, says Indian official. India is finding it difficult to safely evacuate many students stuck at the Ukraine-Polish border, said a government official in Poland on Saturday. The Ukrainian guards are not helping Indian students to cross over as the situation at the border continues to worsen due to ongoing military operations. A 5-kilometer-long queue has formed near the border as many Ukrainians and foreigners are moving towards Poland to seek safe shelter. A majority of students who are stuck at the border are from colleges in Lviv city. The Indian students at the border have been at the border for 10 hours. From the Ukrainian side, the guards are not letting anyone in. They were letting women and kids, but now the situation is getting a bit violent. The people are getting frustrated, especially the Ukrainians are pushing whoever is in the line to get in front, an Indian official in Poland said. The official added that there is nothing more they can do at this moment but wait amid the ongoing Ukraine-Russia crisis. The Indian embassy in Kiev has advised Indian citizens against moving to any of the border checkpoints without prior coordination with government officials at border posts. Now we will be back after a very short break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahala. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
Welcome back. Saudi final exit visa cannot be cancelled during probation. The General Directorate of Passports has announced that workers' final exit visas cannot be cancelled during their probationary period electronically via the Abshur platform. Exporting the final exit visa for workers during their probationary period comes as a facilitating service for employers to issue the visa electronically without the need to check the passport departments, as they can export it through the Offshore Business electronic platform. Masks not mandatory anymore in UAE. The wearing of face masks in open spaces have been made optional in the UAE. Social distancing norms in economic and tourism sites have also been scrapped. However, face masks continue to remain mandatory in closed spaces. The new rules are effective from today, Saturday, February 26th. Close contacts of COVID-19 patients are also not required to undergo quarantine. Instead, they must undergo 2 PCR tests 5 days apart. Isolation protocols for infected individuals will continue as previously announced. In most Emirates, individuals tested positive for COVID-19 usually are mandated to undergo a minimum of 10 days isolation. UAE scraps PCR testing for vaccinated passengers. UAE-bound vaccinated travelers are not required to present a PCR test ahead of their travels. Instead, travelers need to present an approved COVID-19 vaccination certificate containing a QR code. Unvaccinated individuals, however, must present an approved PCR examination result 48 hours ahead of their travels. Unvaccinated persons can also present a certificate of recovery from a COVID-19 infection within 1 month from the date of travel containing a system QR code. Amid Russia-Ukraine conflict, oil prices soared then dip. Oil prices slipped Friday after sharp rises early in the session on concern over potential global supply disruptions from sanctions of major crude exporter Russia. On Thursday, Russia's invasion of Ukraine boosted prices above $100 a barrel for the first time since 2014, with Brent touching $105 before powering gains by the close of trade. Many healthy Americans can take a break from masks. Most Americans live in places where healthy people, including students in schools, can safely take a break from wearing masks under new US guidelines released Friday. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention outlined the new set of measures for communities where COVID-19 is easing its grip, with less of a focus on positive test results and more on what's happening at hospitals, the Associated Press reported. The new system greatly changes the look of the CDC's risk map and puts more than 70% of the US population in counties where the coronavirus is posing a low or medium threat to hospitals. Those are the people who can stop wearing masks, the agency said. The agency is still advising people, including school children, to wear masks where the risk of COVID-19 is high. That is the situation in about 37% of US counties, where about 28% of Americans live. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I'm Vinod Narayanan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.